everybody! It is early May, which means that I have to do the thing that I told you guys I was gonna do, because otherwise I would be not holding myself accountable and you would not be holding me accountable for actually consuming new media. We have so much to get into for this one because, oh my goodness, March and April were times and we have quite a bit to do, so let's just hop right into it. Alright, so real early on in March, my dad and I had a very odd double feature night. First that night was Batman Mask of the Phantasm. I don't know when I watched Batman the Animated Series or how much of it I watched. It's in my brain as what Batman looks like and sounds like and feels like. I got it somewhere, I don't know where, but I really liked getting to watch this movie because it was all of the really cool Batman the Animated Series aesthetic just condensed into one film. There's mystery, there's great characters, there's drama, it's gothic. It's exactly what you wanted when you heard that Batman the Animated Series got a movie. The other movie we watched that night was The Great Race, which was pitched to me as what if Wacky Races was a live-action film? And that is pretty accurate to what this is. It is a live-action Hanna-Barbera cartoon, you know, with the villain with the mustache and the top hat and the big spooky house with the organ. Like, everything is extremely cartoony and it's really fun to see a live-action cartoon. This movie was made in the 1960s and there are a certain degree of things that you sort of expect in a movie that takes place in the 1960s. And then there's some of the stuff in this, mostly to do with Natalie Wood's suffragette character. Somebody was letting out a lot of feelings about women and women's rights when they were working on this. And it's all very funny in the course of the movie, but it is definitely a thing. And so I can't recommend the movie in good conscience without mentioning that it's a part of it. But it's still good. But yeah, it's real fun, it's real goofy, it's very dated. Next, my mom and I watched Crime Scene Kitchen. Yes, it was inevitable that we got a cooking show on here. This is a new cooking show, and I really liked this one. The concept is that there are teams of bakers and they get to go into a kitchen where a dessert was just prepared, and based off of what's in the sink, what's in the dishwasher, what's in the trash, what's on the countertop, they can piece together what the dessert was that was made in the kitchen, and then they have to prepare that without knowing what any of the other teams are preparing. And it is really cool because you get all of the fun of your normal baking cooking competition show, but also the added fun of a mystery, as in you get to piece the clues together as well. Now, there's only one season of this so far. It might have another season this summer. If they do have another season, I would love to see them have some sort of VR 3D model of the kitchen that you can have access to during the show. I think that would be a really cool way to do it, because you as an audience member have to just sort of trust that they found everything, and when you find out that everyone missed this one clue because no one thought to look in the freezer, it can be kind of frustrating because you couldn't figure out the thing you totally would have been able to figure out if they had looked. So I think that adding in like a virtual reality model type thing would make it even more fun. That being said, it is super entertaining, especially when you figure it out. Really easy to get invested in, and the more you know about desserts, the more fun it's gonna be. And then I got asked out on a date, which that was that was the first, and we went to go see Pretty Woman the musical. Now, I've never seen Pretty Woman the movie, so I'm just judging this as a musical, and it was fine. That sounds a little mean. I actually really liked a lot of it. It was probably my favorite usage of LED light designing that I have seen so far. The way that they really made vivid 80s sunset colors and then had a lot of the set be sort of cutouts so that the light was shining through was really effective and really gorgeous, if we're being totally honest. I really liked a lot of the side characters in this. They were really funny and engaging. My personal favorite was Julio the bellhop. He was the whole audience's favorite, I think, at our show. You know, the cast was doing great, the costumes looked great. We had Dilfy Adam Pascal, which I never knew I needed in my life until I had it right in front of me. The main problem with this musical is the music. I was forgetting songs as they were happening. I could not have hummed a melody as I was leaving the theater. It was just not there. And that is a major problem in a musical. But it was also fun, so I'm not gonna judge anyone if they really enjoyed it. Would never have paid money to go see it. If I had paid money, I think I would have been a bit disappointed. But yeah, it's just sort of a whatever show. The last day of March and the 1st of April was when EXU Kaimal happened. EXU stands for Exandria Unlimited, which was a 8-part series that Critical Role did over the summer that was DM'd by Abria Iyengar. They did a little 2-shot casino heist special, and I loved it. I missed these characters so much. Dorian Storm is exactly the type of character that I lose my mind over. I also love Dariax, VRI, Opal. We didn't have Orem and Fern, but Morgan was a great add-on. I love the way that this group plays. Abria is a really fun DM. The way that she plays with her players reminds me of my own games, honestly, in a way that's really fun. I love the mechanic she came up with for the heist. I genuinely would want to incorporate that into any heist that I would ever run in a game. And it was just really nice to see this group of characters together again. I really like them, and it was fun. That Darn Cat was a movie I'd heard of, but I didn't know anything about until my mom put it on and forced me to watch it. And it was fun. It was definitely quirky is the word I would use. Not even as far as zany. It was still fairly grounded, but it was definitely quirky. If you like the reoccurring character actors that end up in every Disney live action film, you will be excited when you see Edwin and Ronnie McDowell and all of the other people who always end up in these movies. The lead is distractingly British. Everyone else is American, and this one girl is just so British. But that's fine. I can get past it, if only because of one of the strangest characters I have ever seen in anything. God, I want to psychoanalyze Canoe so badly. He's so strange. But yeah, it's a fun little movie to put on. Maggie, my little girl, my little kitty cat, she was fascinated watching it. She had a great time. I enjoyed myself. I'm not going to be in a hurry to put it on again, but if I get sick, I might. I was so excited for the next one. See one of my dear, dear, dear friends from Baldwin Wallace, Will Savarese, actually had to leave his senior year because he got cast in the Hairspray National Tour. So obviously when it came to Akron, I had to go out to see him. I simply had to. And I was really excited because I have never seen the stage version of Hairspray. I grew up with the 2007 movie, but I never got to see it on stage. And I really liked it. I was worried that it was going to be too goofy and too silly and not have all of the elements of Hairspray that I love from the movie. but it was still very enjoyable. I still had a really good time. I think that the movie was very intelligently put together, and I could do a whole thing about how that movie was put together and made such a smart, grounded adaptation of that musical. But it was just so much fun. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the music, obviously. So many great songs. Nikki Metcalf is such a good Tracy. She wins you over instantly and holds you there the whole show. Nina West, who is apparently really huge in the drag world, I had no idea because I don't know enough about drag, but she was an incredible Edna, very great. This is a star vehicle for your Edna, and incredible, incredible, incredible. Obviously, I loved Will as Link. This was very much a role he was meant to do at some point, and I'm just so excited that he got to do it so soon. And yeah, I really, really had a great time with this show. It was so great to get to meet the cast afterwards. I'm so proud of Will. If this is coming in your area, you should definitely go see it. Not just because of him, but because it's a great production of a really fun show, but also because my friend is in it and I want him to be a big star. I had debated when I first came up with the idea of doing this if I wanted to include fan fiction or not, and if I was going to include fan fiction, how many words long the fanfic had to be, because if I counted every single one-shot I read, this video would be 1,000,000 years long. But I figured there were certain things that I had to include, and I knew that when Men of Sense and Silly Women ended, I was going to talk about it, because I've been reading this fic for years now. It is a Critical Role Regency era AU. The story is about Jester Lavore as she escapes from her mother's terrible fiance, Lord Sharp, to her estranged father's home, where he is a criminal who steals horses, but he has a handsome secretary. Widow Jest and the Regency era. It is well done for both of these things. If you like either of them, you will have a great time reading these 164,000 words of Caleb and Jester in a Regency AU. If this is not your thing, I'm sorry, it is my thing. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of it is how Annie did not feel the need to shoehorn every single part of canon into the AU. Like, there are many characters in the Mighty Nine who don't make a fucking appearance at all. And honestly, that's really great, because the characters who are in the story are really good and really fun and interesting and nuanced, and you get a lot out of them. And it's really exciting to see that development. And it's always really a fun surprise when a little bit of canon happens to find its way into this. When I got to the blueberry cupcake moment, I was so excited, because I did not expect the blueberry cupcake moment at all in this story. And the way it's utilized is so great. And it's all just really intelligently put together, and I love it so much. If this is remotely your thing, you have to check it out. It's so good. It's finished now, and I adore it. Yeah, even I am not immune to the gay pirates show. I also love Our Flag Means Death, just like every other bitch on Tumblr. When I first saw, everything about it going on Tumblr, because of course I heard about it there, I was like, oh, okay guys, we're doing this for a little bit. I didn't expect to watch it. I had no real interest in it, but the more I saw, the more intrigued I became, and so I suggested we turn it on, and I really, really, really had a great time with it. Definitely not for everyone. My dad couldn't get through the first episode, and if you are uncomfortable with the concept of historical fiction about people who were bad, and then not dealing with that, I mean, yeah, that's fair. But I think for most people, it is going to be a really fun silly, emotional time. I really, really recommend it. It's so much fun. If you like Muppet Treasure Island, this is your shit. I'm not the first person you're hearing about the gay pirate show starring Taika Waititi from. You've heard about this from someone else. If you haven't watched it, just, try. It's worth it. It really is. And then, proving that I am consistently on brand, Emma 2020. Emma isn't one of my main Jane Austen things. I'm a Sense and Sensibility bitch, if we're being perfectly honest. So, while I had been curious when I had first seen trailers for Emma, I wasn't in a rush to see it. But I'm glad I did. I really love this movie. I love the aesthetic of it. It is absolutely fucking gorgeous. And I love the cast. It's really fun. Bill Nighy's always great in everything, and it was really cool to see him in this. My favorite part of this was the costumes and hair of this production. I feel like with a lot of period pieces, they struggle with making differentiations between styles that make sense to a modern audience. And while I'm sure Emma isn't entirely historically accurate, I think they did a really good job of making each character's unique style work and have us feel the right way about the character's styles, so that while I've never really loved Regency era hair, I was able to go, oh, this hair is nice. This hair looks like shit. And that was really fun and is often something that isn't done or isn't done well in a lot of period pieces. And I was really excited to see just how well it was done. And it's Emma. I mean, it's Jane Austen. It's gonna be good. But yeah, that is the March and the April things. Nothing yet for May, although guess what movie we're seeing tonight? Alright, everybody, I will see ya later.